Happy New Year and welcome back to the table. Ryan and I are here today to share with you our board game resolutions for 2025, our board game goals, maybe some things that we regret from the past that we want to try to change about our board game habits this year. We're going to talk a little bit about that. You see right here, we have Stalker sitting up in front of us. We're not going to play that for you today, but we have it set up so that we can play it.
Yeah.
But Ryan, what is your first resolution of 2025?
That ties directly into my first resolution.
Play Stalker?
Yes. No, I want to spend more time in 2025 with a regular campaign group or even solo mode playing through all of these campaign games that I've had piling up. Just like for looking at Stalker and seeing.
Oh yeah.
I just want to play it. And I have Clank Legacy 2 to play through this coming year. I have a group that I need to get together with them. I never finished Vampire Chapters, which I love.
Is that solo that you're doing?
I'm doing that solo, and it's huge. I'd like to bring...
You're better off doing it solo,
I
right?
think so.
It's easier to get the group together when you're playing them solo.
That's for sure. I'm doing Kinfire Chronicles solo as well.
Oh, really?
But I want to do more stuff with people, too. I want to play through some of these campaign games. I've been playing Undaunted, the campaign for Undaunted Stalingrad, for over a year. I need to just get these done. I'm in the middle of a Dead Reckoning campaign that
we
I
even
just
started
have all this stuff.
Was it 2 years ago we started Oathsworn?
Oh, that's true.
I don't even know that.
I
feel like I'd want to start over. That's my problem. Same thing with video games. I start it, and then I get away from it for some reason, and then I come back to it, and I'm like, I don't really remember what's happening. I may as well just start. And then I'll even maybe get less far and quit again.
That's a problem I have going back to games and then thinking you remember the rules and then getting halfway through and going, oh, wait a minute, we forgot this one key, very important rule that now, I feel like we need to restart. So
I would say my first resolution is very much in line with that. It's a little more specific, and it is sitting under Stalker as we speak, and that's Agonia. I think Alicia and I have had Agonia set up under the table. Now, we've played it. We've played it plenty. If I had to guess, we've played probably 8 or 9 times.
That's pretty good.
We've leveled up. We've gone and done a couple more scenarios after the first level up, but you can level up to, I want to say level 4 ultimately. We're only at level 2. There's a ton of content in this game, and it's just challenging. And Alicia and I are the only ones playing it, and we're together quite often, so it's not about getting together. It's about just dedicating the time to do that. But Agonia is under this table. It is definitely something I want to play more of. I also want to, just like you, play more games like this when we can find the time.
That's the hard part, prioritizing and being able to decide that. Because my second resolution kind of ties into that. And I think part of the reason for both of these is that we are a board game channel. We like to try to, I know, it's amazing, but we like to play everything that comes out. I have this list right now of 30 games from the year. And I find myself wanting to knock those out, but I'm missing doing things like this. And my other resolution, getting back into more regular role-playing. That was my heart.
You're on your own there.
That is where I came from. And over the past, year, I played with my friend Sean, Crit Hit Giant. If you see him on Instagram, he makes TikToks and Instagram content about RPGs. And he's been pulling me back in here and there, a one-shot here, live play, stream here, there. And I just remember how much I love it and how much I miss it in my life. And I don't know that our audience is ever going to be one that really wants to hear me talk about RPGs for a long time.
Let us know in the comments below. Have you suffered through him talking about it right now, or you're like, ooh, tell me more?
But I'd like to. I miss it. I used to have a weekly group, and we'd play through so many different games. Every month, we'd play 4 sessions of one game. Then we'd switch to 4 sessions of another game, and we'd try out every.
Oh,
system.
Really?
Oh, it was the greatest group, and that group lasted for a long time. But then everybody moved, and as things happen.
And also, to be clear, when I said you're on your own, it doesn't mean that I don't like that. It is just those are particularly difficult to find. I mean, just like a campaign game, I guess. The group that can consistently get together, especially if you're playing online, which I had tried D&D online once with some people, and it's just hard to get everyone together to do those.
It's hard.
My next resolution, I'll kind of smash a couple together here. One is another game dedicated one, and it is Marrakesh. Marrakesh is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, it made it above Seasons, or are we talking
that
close?
I don't know. Marrakesh is probably within my top 10, I think. It and Castles of Burgundy, as Stefan Feld games compared, they're very close to one another. But Marrakesh hasn't gotten back to the table with the expansion content. Like, so I have the Camels and Nomads expansion. I've had it for a long, long time. But the expansion content is kind of like sat on my shelf of opportunity, and I really want to get Marrakesh back to the table and actually use that. Part of the problem is whenever I'm getting Marrakesh, usually there's another person at the table who hasn't played it before.
Throw them in the deep end. You have to, because at some point, but I wanted to interrupt you. Have you played through all of the modules that came with the original Marrakesh even?
Oh, well, there's not many modules.
There's like 4. I haven't played with all of them.
No, I've played with all of the original stuff. That's for sure.
Okay, that's good.
The expansion has insane amount of modules. Some of which, like, I wouldn't even advise using all of the modules because it's just too much game. In fact, the camels part is a big
Literally.
It's huge. But the one there's a few that I want to start using regularly when we play Marrakesh. One of them is just the setup and the variable powers for sure. Like that we need to play. Every time we play Marrakesh going forward, it should be with that. So that is one of the things I want to do. And then related to board games in general, I also want to say, and Ryan will keep me honest here, I'm going to try to log my board game stats.
Wow, okay.
For 2025.
25 is the year.
I've said it before privately on camera. I don't really care so much about that, although people have, Emily in particular, have pointed out reasons to do so. Look, I don't care what I played and how well I did it.
Sure.
But when we're going back and like she said, when I try to remember who I played with,
or where, or when.
Little things. Now, I don't know if I'm going to put all that information in there, but I'm going to try.
Do all of that.
We'll see. I've done this before. I've lasted till about February. As soon as I miss a couple games where it's like difficult for me to go, and then I'm the kind of person, if I miss one, I'm done.
I miss them here and there. When we live stream sometimes, if I don't put it in right after the live stream, it'll be like the next day and I'll say, oh shoot, I never put that in. That happens. So, all right, well, my next resolution, and this is more MVM channel related, actually.
Yes,
for me.
Mine is too.
Oh,
so we can
so people might not know this. I moved to a new place. I have a whole new room that is my MVM room that I can do with what I want. And I have been working on this design for my set. So as I love filming content here with David, and I will continue to film content here with David, but I like the idea of being able to just like, if I want to talk directly to you, if I want to film something, having a kind of set or a backdrop.
He doesn't want to have to drive over here all the time. I mean, that's really what
not when I just want to do some content, because I am trying to do and branch out and do more like Star Wars content with Nelson where we're streaming. I would ideally like to just like stream some board games like BGA games. Let me just say, I have a list of content that I want to make in 2025, and I need to just like keep myself accountable and have the audience keep me accountable and say, what about that BGA live stream? I don't want it to be November and me going, oh yeah, let me finally get around to live streaming BGA.
BGA live streams is a great idea. And that's part of my resolution too. I want to do, and all of us want to do, new and different types of content here on the channel. And for a variety of reasons, we really have to. We want to evolve the channel. We want to do different things. Will you see previews and round ones and stuff like that? Paid content? Sure, you will.
Yeah, I got to keep the channel running.
It's not going anywhere. However, I want to do more other stuff. And it doesn't necessarily mean reviews. I want to do some interesting pieces just on games or on a topic surrounding games. Ryan and I just recorded, now a top 10 isn't revolutionary, but we recorded.
No one's doing that.
But we're going to introduce a top 11. No, I'm kidding. We're going to do it. We recorded a top 10 on player boards because we think it's a really interesting concept. It's in production right now. We're editing it, so that will be up soon. But we want to do unique pieces of content. This will probably mean, too, to some degree, we want to do better, more interesting. It might mean a little less.
It might.
We've at times during 2024, we've put out a lot of content in a given week, and it's a lot to do. It's a lot to pull off. And yes, this is a great job. We're playing games, but the editing and all the work that goes in behind the scenes is a fair amount, so it's hard to keep up that pace. So we want to keep a healthy work-life balance and keep that pace going. But yeah, you'll see all sorts of new things. We want to even try some stuff that, like you said, playing games without all the production. You just turn on the camera and maybe live stream an entire game, or just record an entire game and put it up for you.
I think we're going to be doing some experimental content because I think that when we started this channel, back in 2016, you started this and I joined shortly after. It was a different world of content. So
yeah.
I think nowadays what we want to do is play more games and show you more games, and that doesn't necessarily mean that we can spend as much, time editing and producing those. I love the high production videos that we've done,
and we will still do those from time to time. I want that to be a big part of our channel.
Yeah.
We're really proud of the content we put out. But we're going to do some other stuff too.
And so we'd love to hear some feedback because we want to get more games to you. We want to show you more games, and sometimes that might mean just hitting go live and just doing it.
Yeah. So be prepared. Buckle up. It might be a wild ride. But like Emily.
Wow.
I wish Emily were here as well as Ryan.
No,
not in place of Ryan.
In place of Ryan is fine. I believe it and I know it in my heart.
Like Ryan just said. We want to play more games. Getting back to that work-life balance, I want to play some games where I'm not necessarily thinking about the project that we have to do for the channel, but just to play a game. And that's going to mean, for me, to try to play some games that are maybe outside my comfort zone. Now, if you've watched the channel before, and if ever we've ever done any New Year's resolutions, I'm certain I've said this before. So please don't say in the comments, you've said that before and you lied. I mean, you can. I'll just delete it.
No one ever lies about their resolution. Every resolution always happens.
Yeah, I'm going to work out every day, too. Side note, I am going to try to work out more. But no, I want to try to open myself up to being, I'm not going to I'll name drop a couple games. A Lacerda game. If Emily and Ryan goes, hey, there's a new Lacerda, let's try this game. I might try it.
The Great Library is coming later.
What I might do is learn that game and play it with some other people, because playing those games is intimidating in and of itself. Playing those games with you and Emily, who are good at those games, who love those games, who are familiar with those games, that's a whole nother level of sort of intimidation. But yeah, just being open to different experiences. TI4 still might not be on that list.
I know, 2025 might be the year. We've got some friends on the channel, Dan and Nate, who love TI4.
If someone can guarantee me that we can get in and out in less than 3 hours.
Cannot guarantee that. In fact, I can almost guarantee it will not be.
I'm sorry, TI4. You're not on my resolution list.
You know what? We can do the teach and get you out of there in under 3 hours. Just the teach for 3 hours? And then later you can come back.
Do I have to play?
I said it'll be less than 3 hours, and then you can come back and play a second one. That way the teach doesn't add to the play time, right?
I see. That's a crafty maneuver.
I'm gonna add this one because this is you saying this stuff. I take it to heart because it's true. Like heavy games are games that Emily and I love to play, but we'd like to make those experiences less intimidating. So we just have to work on that.
Oh, I thought you were adding one.
I am. I'm going to try to make those experiences less intimidating.
Oh, I don't know.
Whatever
you know what? I appreciate that.
Whatever it could take from us to make them less intimidating.
That one I will hold you to. I will remind you. I'm going to create a sign as I'm playing with Ryan in one of those situations, and I'm just going to hold up the sign and saying, you're breaking your resolution.
Well, I will say from a perspective of anybody that's playing with new players in 2025 and you're bringing new players in, it's tough to turn off that part of your brain that's like, I want to exploit every exploit here, and I see these combos and I want to take advantage of them. Sometimes that alone, because I know I've been there where I watch somebody and they go, ba, 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 ba. I just scored 40 points, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm going to walk away from the table.
If you're playing with a game with me and you have a great move, feel free to go bump, 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 bump. I will potentially celebrate that with you. But on my turn, if I'm lagging behind, maybe give me some advice.
Sure.
That's all I'm asking for. But those are our resolutions, our board game resolutions, our MVM resolutions. We threw a couple of personal resolutions in there. If you have any resolutions, let us know, specifically if it's related to board games. Let's try to keep it to board games in the comments. But let us know in the comments below if you have any resolutions at all for 2025 for your board gaming hobby. Until next time, though, make sure everyone has fun at the table. In fact, that's the last resolution for all of us.
That's true.
Make sure everyone has fun at the table. And we'll see you then.